And another question. Are there Republican Unitarian Universalists? And there most certainly have been. And there probably are, but they're kind of an endangered species right now, and that's unfortunate for us. Religious liberalism and political liberalism are really two very different things. They're a little bit like two circles that overlap in the middle, but they have their own integrity. There's a middle common ground, though. Religious liberalism, you see, focuses on freedom of belief and the inherent worth and dignity of persons, and that has tended to translate into equal access of persons to social good. Political conservatism, on the other hand, is very keen on freedom. That's where the two overlap. But there are political conservatives, therefore, who are drawn to the freedom of belief side of Unitarian Universalism. However, political conservatives tend to believe in a more hierarchical model of human relations. They often believe that men should be the head of families, for instance, that heterosexuality is the only right way to be human, and that differences in socioeconomic status are the result of work ethic differences. So there's an overlapping between political conservatism and religious liberalism in that emphasis on freedom of belief. But when it comes to how we should live out those beliefs, there's a big clash of values and ideas. Now, through the 1980s, polls tended to show about 3/4 of Unitarian Universalists were politically liberal and 1/4 were conservative. This was sometimes uncomfortable for the conservatives, who were always distinctly in the minority. They tended to be Republicans or libertarians, but it wasn't impossible for many of them. There was, if you can remember this, more respect for political difference in those days in our whole nation. The polarization of politics in America, especially in the past 8 years, polarized our churches as well. And most of my colleagues reported what I noticed here, which was that the Republicans and Libertarians got tired of being such a minority amidst such strong feelings, and they left. I hope that during the next administration we'll take our president's broader attitude towards those we disagree with, and that our congregations will again become a little more politically diverse. Perhaps we'll find that we have important things to learn from each other. And by the way, through the 1980s, those same polls tended to show that about 3/4 of religious conservatives were politically liberal, and that changed in the past 2 decades also. Now there's a resurgence of politically liberal evangelical Christians who are learning to talk together in spite of their differences. We should do so well.